channel. We're going to be playing Enshrouded. I've played a little bit of it before, quite a bit of it actually, and so this is going to be a let's play. I'm going to throw in some tips and stuff that I picked up during my first playthrough. So character creation, your preset here determines your gender and your face shape. But you can change your skin color, hairstyle, facial hair, eye color, eyebrows, voice, and name. So let's quickly get into it. Alright, as far as world goes, you can do a private world, you can host a world, or you can join someone else's world. If you host a world, you set the passwords so people can join. So we're going to do a private world here. Alright, difficulties. We have relaxed, default, hard, survival, and custom. So we can go in and we can look at the detailed of each thing. So there's relaxed, default, hard, survival. One thing to note, so there's starvation mode. That's if you don't eat food. You can click on this stuff on the setting and have a description. Enables hunger and starvation. This is very Minecrafty, so if you don't eat, you start to starve. There's also lose on death, so this basically says you lose everything. There's default. That's where you lose any of your non-equipment like swords, armors, or you keep everything. Then there's also world resources, so on and so forth. So I like to do default, and then I like to change loot on death to keep all. I keep starvation mode off because that's what default does. I don't mess with the player health or any of that stuff. We'll go ahead and basically leave that stuff all alone. Alright, let's go ahead and hit create, and we're gonna hit play.
Long ago, a wanderer brought an enthralling gift to the people of Embervale. The elixir. It was a cure, a blessing, a weapon. Once concealed by the ancients, its might had been set free. With it came power, mistrust, and a longing for more. Humanity dug the elixir wells, ripping apart the land and each other to quench their thirst. Elixir and blood, a drop for a drop. But from the depths of the wells, an unforeseen curse crept into Embervale. The Shroud, a ruinous fog which sought only to spread and devour. Facing their downfall, ancients and humans united to forge the Flameborn. Now, your time has come. Awake.
So later on, when we get a good pickaxe, we can come in and we can break these and they'll drop 3 scrap metal. So I'll have these little question marks that pop up a tooltip as a tutorial. You'll need to watch out for these red. They will update lore, possibly give you quests, tell you about things. A lot of things in this world are destructible, and you can collect materials from them. So that's our first food item. Here's a chest. A couple more bandages. I like to have my bandages on 7 and my so these berries plus 2 health regeneration only last 30 seconds. So I like to have those on 5. Keep my primary melee weapon on 1. I do wands on 2 and 3, and 4 I typically do a torch, but since we don't have any other melee weapons right now, we'll keep the torches there. There's 2 ways down. Well, there's more than 2. You can jump down and take a little bit of damage. There's that ladder over there. There's also a ladder right here. But if we go back into this part of the cave, we can loot these bombs. And if we throw them at the bubble here, shows that it takes us back into this little area. There's a little lore book and a chest. What? And of course I get a ring. Alright, really quick. N is the hotkey for your character. Here's your physical resistance, your magical resistance. If you want to see all your attributes, you click on all. Breaks it down for you. So currently we have 100 health, 100 mana, and 151 stamina. That's because of this ring. These are our pants, so on and so forth. H is our skill tree. B is our backpack. V is our crafting space. Now, this is all that we can craft right now. We have a journal. We have the flame. Tells us what we need to use to upgrade it to the next level. Then we have our active quests. And of course, the map. So the little green bar is the stamina meter. So as I run, that goes down. And of course stop running and it goes, it'll stay up. And it restores itself. So we're entering what's called it says Enshrouded. I like to refer to it as the Shroud. Basically, we have a time limit that we're allowed to be in this fungusy, mushroomy area before it overcomes us. There are certain spots, like near these mushrooms, if you get into their little area, it will start pulling your area down. So that's when the little red swirls go over you. your shroud timer counts down faster. Alright. As with a lot of survival games, keep your eyes open for things you can collect. You can collect shrubs, bushes. There's even a little bit of corn over here. Note there is a beehive in this tree right here. We can harvest that. We'll get some wax and some honeycomb. Alright, over here, this little area. And there's a little tutorial there about blocking with the shield, but we don't have a shield right now. There's always a metal scrap right there. Just one. There's a little bit of water right there. Here's our first piece of tar. Oh, so we need a lockpick. But you need 2 metal scrap to make a lockpick. Alright, more lore. Free health potions. I'm not gonna smash everything up. It ruins the durability on my sword. And right now we don't have a way to repair it. There's some rats here. Alright, there's always a little bit of lore here. Those rations are right back here. There's some cooked meat there, cooked mushroom, and some more raw meat. Alright, cooking meat. Alright, so we sit down at the fire and we select it from our hot bar. We hold it till we hear the sizzle and the texture changes. Alright. If you eat raw meat, it will poison you. You'll get food poison, but if you cook it, you're okay. Alright. watch out for wells, because you can scoop water from them. Water is critical later in the game. Well, it's critical now too. So water will help you regenerate your stamina and give you a little bit of stamina boost. Another thing to note, we can pick up some arrows right there. So if you see an enemy getting ready to attack, if you have shield, you can block. You can also block with the current weapon. It's not as good as parrying with a shield, or blocking with a shield. If you time your block correctly, so just before the enemy strikes, you'll do a parry, and that stuns them. And then you'll get some free hits. Alright, I got a better weapon now. So the game is indicating to us that it wants us to build a base right here. So let's go ahead and do that. So the area, the yellow area, is our build area. Anything in that yellow area will not reset when we log out and log back in, or if we leave the area for 2 or more hours. It might be different on a server. Most time I play by myself, it's 2 hours for an area to reset back to the game's default. Alright. So we have a new quest to find that guy. We can also find it here. So it wants us to go find the blacksmith. But before we do that, we need to construct a workbench. The workbench allows us to make more difficult or more advanced craft things. So we have the build hammer, a glider, a grappling hook, a storage chest. These are building blocks for building a house, roofs, and dirt and little road blocks. As you pick up items and whatnot, you will be able to I need more stone. Learn more advanced recipes. is a parry right there. Alright. So blue shrouded areas we can get into. If we enter a red shrouded area, then we almost immediately die. It's because our flame altar is not strong enough to fight the shroud or enshrouded in that area. Alright, night's coming. So we need to either find a place to sleep, or we start feeling cold. I don't know exactly what the debuff is for getting cold, so I haven't noticed anything with it. Alright, these yellow leaf trees, they have a higher chance of dropping resin than the green leaf tree. See, this one dropped 3 resin. So if you are looking for resin, those are the trees you want to watch out for, at least in the starting area of Springdales. I think that's what it's called. Alright. Let's just craft a chest. So, things we don't necessarily need to take with us all the time. Right. Did I put my string in there? No, I'm just out. Okay. I'd make a shield, but since we are using a two-handed weapon, the shield wouldn't do us any good. So I just need to make a bunch of string. Okay. Let's go ahead. So one thing I like about nighttime, It makes it easy for us to see the fireflies. They're just these little yellow glowing spots on the ground. Just run up to them and collect them. And notice how quickly the well refilled so I could collect from it again. There is a limit to how many times you can collect from them, but they do refill quickly. Alright, if you want to sleep through the night, you just get on a bed. It speeds up the night to being 60 times faster. So when you hear that rooster crow and you end up laying on your back, then you know night is over. Alright, let's go into this enshrouded area. There's a couple guys in here. There's another little cellar area, a little bit of lore. And there is a chest behind that mushroom, but it requires a lockpick, so I'm not gonna bother with it. Right, here's the first ore node that you guys that will see in the game. It's flint, or flint stone. The only way to get rid of those bees is by attacking them. The best way is to attack them with a wand. I don't have a wand right now. Alright. Let's go rescue the blacksmith. If I had made a grappling hook, we could cross on the bridge. There's a couple of scavengers we gotta fight if we do it that way. I just don't feel the need to do it that way. I'd rather come down here into the shrouded area and collect some resources that we'll want to have later on. So right here, these give us shroud liquid. We need a lot of this stuff for later on. There's a guy right there. You can also chop down any trees to get what's called Enshrouded. And it also teaches us how to make a new block. Alright. Let's get back on the road. We'll check out that ring in a moment. Just want to make sure I get out of the Enshrouded area. Oh, should have paused and waited for my stamina. Let's eat some berries. While we're waiting, let's look at this ring. So up there is a tower. We'll be getting that later. There's the bridge. There's a couple of scavengers there. We're going to bypass them for now. Scavengers is the best way to get scrap metal. You'll see that in a moment, because we're going to be fighting a bunch of them as we go through this camp to get to the blacksmith. Alright, they dropped a provisional scythe. Really quick with equipment, you have common, rare. There's also uncommon, which is green, epic, which is purple, and legendary, which is yellow. So we can spend these runes to upgrade the weapon. So I can, common you can only upgrade once, so this goes from being a level 1 weapon to a level 2 weapon. Same with this one right here. Right. Let's go get that other lore object. Scavengers also like to have explosives, so just be aware. They have explosive barrels laying around. You can shoot with a bow if you have a bow, or a wand, or a staff. There's a hand explosive. There's also these things you can search. Some scavenger camps like to booby trap those. So they'll put a bomb underneath it, so after you loot it, it explodes on you. So there's an explosive barrel right there. Alright, there's one guy in here. Okay, now we got the blacksmith. Now we can just teleport. Well, I was going to teleport back to base, but so we have the blacksmith. This shows what he can create. So we have the blacksmith, the kiln, and the forge. Those are what they call workshops. Alright. I'm just wondering what this is. Oh yeah, you can get into these bushes. You can press C to crouch, so you can sneak up on enemies. I'm just going to run away from those bees for the time being. They're kind of annoying. Another thing is that I'm just going to run over here. I'm going to get the Flintstone mine marked on my map. That was marked. Let's warp back home now. Alright.
Vai comigo.
Now, to strengthen the flame, we need some more red mushrooms, some bones, a spark, and animal fur. That stuff is easy enough to get. Alright, stuff that I don't want to carry on me all the time. So let's make another chest. Oh, need some nails. So let's summon in our blacksmith first. I guess can't be on the altar.
Hey! What is it? Better to be the hammer than the anvil.
Alright. So he wants us to clear an elixir well. We also have this forge of weaponry. He either wants us to make a scrappy sword or a spike club or any piece of armor from him. I do want to build first is the kiln. Let's just throw that right there. So this needs dirt. We're going to need to get a bit more dirt and wood. Alright. Getting dirt's easy enough. Just run outside the area of our base. Alright. Every time we use the workbench, it repairs our equipment. Even if something were to break, it would still repair it for us. That's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching.